What are the biggest changes that a recession makes in the fundamental moral ethos of a civilization?
The first thing that you actually see when you have a big recession like this or something like the Great Depression is you actually do see changes in how people behave. For a long time, people have been talking about what they call vice industries, like gambling and alcohol, as counter-cyclical industries. They're the stocks that you buy because they hold up when everything else is going to hell. So when you feel bad, you take another drink or you go out and try to win back some of what you lost.
So what about the willingness to go and let marijuana become legal, as we've seen in California? Big discussion there. Tax it.
Well, I think that's always been actually a fairly powerful argument in favor.
I actually believe that legalizing marijuana is a good idea. As long as the government moderates the amount of intake an individual can take, I think it's okay.
Surely there's something else that we can do, to get the budgets under control rather than have to legalize pot.
Coming out of a recession or a depression, do you see people suddenly become hedonistic, or do they become more moralistic?
I think they become more moralistic. Going through something that financially devastating forces people into their own communities. It forces them to rely on other people a lot more than they did.
The high, wide, and handsome 1920s brought undreamed of prosperity.
You look at what happened in the 20s, where you had this massive expansion and really a breakdown in the morality of society. Dramatic sea changes in how people viewed things like drinking and premarital sex and so forth. And that all went away during the Great Depression because you couldn't afford to have so many vices.
5,000 banks shut their doors to depositors now in greatest need of their savings.
So you see a puritanical period coming in the next few years?
I think so. It will be a change. There will be less sense of obligation towards distant people, but much more sense of obligation towards the people who are immediately around you, because they're the ones that you fall back on in a disaster.
The church has been helping financially. Frankly, if it wasn't for them, for a few months, we wouldn't even be able to pay our mortgage or some of our bills. They've been more than beneficial. They've given us food money, gas money.
What's been the big surprise so far in this recession for you?
Thankfully, the biggest surprise has been that it has not been as bad as a lot of people were predicting. The second biggest surprise has been, when we went in and we bailed out the banks in an attempt to keep the banking system from collapsing, that was something that most financial observers were in favor of. I don't think any of us were expecting how deeply and quickly people would turn against all sorts of assistance to almost anyone. It's not just the banks anymore. People are angry about modifying mortgages for homeowners. When all of this is over, I think we are definitely going to be having some long conversations about, making sure everyone gets their fair share.
Okay, thanks, Megan.
Thank you.
Nice to talk to you. Bye.
Pleasure. Bye-bye.